Hi, in this tutorial we are going to learn how to write a quadratic equation in the form x plus a square plus b. For that we will need to learn the method of completing the square. Also we are going to learn how to solve the quadratic equation by completing the square. Let's start. In this question we have been given a quadratic equation and we are asked to write it in the form x plus a square plus b. Here, to do so, we will have to do completing the square. The method I'm showing you now is applicable when the coefficient of x square is 1. So the first thing we will do is write a bracket and put x. And you see that there is a plus here. So that's the reason after x, I will put plus. Then whatever is the coefficient of x, here we have 8. So whatever the coefficient of x, we are going to divide it by 2. 8 divided by 2, I'll get 4. You close the bracket and put a square. When you are doing completing the square, after you close the bracket, we always put a negative. So we'll put a negative, and the number that you got when you divided the coefficient of x by 2, you will write it in a bracket here and put a square. So the 4 we will write here in a bracket and square it. And then the negative 1 from the question, we will write it here. So write the bracket again, x plus 4 square. Put this in the calculator and you got negative 17. So we have written our quadratic equation in the form x plus a square plus b by using the completing the square method. Here our a is 4 and our b is negative 17. This question requires us to solve the quadratic equation by completing the square. It means we have to find the value of x. Here also the coefficient of x square is 1. So we are going to follow the same steps that we did in the example before. We are going to put a bracket and write x. You have a negative here, so after x I'm going to put a negative. And then I'm going to divide the coefficient of x by 2. So 6 divided by 2, 3. Close the bracket, put a square. And after the bracket, like I told you, it's always a negative. And then I'm going to write the number that I got by dividing by 2 in a bracket, and I'm going to square that number. I'm going to write plus 2 is equal to 0. We are going to write again x minus 3 square and put this in the calculator. You will get negative 7 is equal to 0. Remember, we have to find x, so the x has to be alone. The negative 7, when I move to the other side, it will become positive 7. Always to remove the square here, we have to square root the opposite side. So we will write x minus 3 is equal to plus or minus square root 7. And then the negative 3 will move to the other side, we'll get 3. 3 plus and minus square root 7. So the two solutions of x are x is equal to 3 plus square root 7 and x is equal to 3 minus square root 7. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to solve a quadratic equation by completing the square when the coefficient of x square is not 1. If you have understood the concept and you liked the video, kindly subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up. Thank you very much.